Hello, and today I'm going to make this presentation about Marcus Aurelius, that he was both a Roman emperor and in the same time a philosopher. This is actually really unusual because most rulers that are well known focus more on power, wealth, or having victories in war. But Marcus instead focused on how to be a good person and a good leader. He believed that philosophy could help him control his actions and stay calm in different moments. Also, in this presentation, I will explain how he used philosophy in his life and why his ideas are still important to this very day. This is going to be a very brief historical context of what he did as a ruler and his history in general. So, firstly, he, of course, ruled the Roman Empire during a very difficult time. His reign was filled with wars on the borders of the empire and a serious plague that killed many people. Actually, this plague came from east from Asia and it spread widely on the west, and it is actually what was the consequences of all of this, the deaths from this plague. Also, part of his everyday life, it was fear, loss, and uncertainty in the people of Rome. And actually, these events are the ones that strongly influenced how Marcus thought about the world in general, because life uh, was often harsh and unpredictable. And that's actually why he believed that inner strength and self-control were more important than comfort or success. Actually, there were really wealthy people and well known at that time that moved outside of Rome because uh, they could do it and they could save themselves. But Marcus did the opposite. He stayed in the city with his people and he assured them that everything is going to be okay. And that's why he was so great as a ruler, but also as a philosopher. Marcus is a Stoic philosopher. I know that we studied Stoicism in class, but I still want to explain how I view it. For me, Stoicism teaches that some things are under our control and others aren't. We can control our thoughts, choice, and actions, but we cannot control events, uh, the luck we have, or what other people do. And according to Stoicism, being a good and honest person is more important than money or status, and that this idea can help people stay calm, but it also raises questions about whether it can lead to accepting problems instead of trying to change them. And that's actually what Marcus thought as his uh, philosophy. Okay, so Stoicism in practice. From what I read online, Marcus actually didn't see Stoicism as just an idea. He tried to use it every day to guide how, to guide how he behaved and made decisions. He often reminded himself to stay calm, patient, and fair uh, to other people, especially when he was dealing with difficult people. He knew that feelings like anger and pride could lead to poor decisions, so he worked really hard to control them. And actually, because of this, his philosophy helped him remain stable and focused, even when his life was full of pressure and hard times. And actually, this is what helped him with the problems that the empire had with the plague and the wars surrounding the empire. Meditations is a book that Marcus Aurelius wrote. Um, and the interesting about it is that it was actually never meant to be read by anyone else because it was a private notebook where he wrote down reminders for himself. And in the book, he talks about death and how quickly life passes. And the really special thing about this book is that because of it wasn't of that it wasn't meant for the public and for publication, it gives sort of an honesty that uh, another book can give. Also, he um, reminds himself that power and fame don't last, but actions do. And while the book is honest and thoughtful, it doesn't offer clear ideas for changing society or improving political systems. It is really interesting, and actually, that's why I choose to write about, to present about Marcus, because my meditation professor is talking about his visions uh, from the beginning that I have started, and I want to read this book because Marcus is really interesting to me and his philosophy in general. Why does Marcus Aurelius still matter to this day? And it is actually because people believe and his ideas help them with stress, worry, and pressure. His philosophy encourages people like me and uh, to stay calm in hard situations and to focus on what we can control and to not focus on what we actually cannot do and we can't control. However, some critics argue that Stoicism focuses too much on um, our personal peace and not enough on helping others or changing unfair systems. And this makes his philosophy useful, but also it can open a debate. Actually, in my school, I went to a philosophy class, and there we had many debates on Marcus Aurelius' philosophy, and actually, uh, that's when he became so interesting to me because because of his philosophy, there are so many debates, and it was actually very different from the philosophies of other philosophers like him. And just before I continue with the sources, in conclusion, I just want to say that Marcus tried to live as a philosopher while ruling an empire, which is really hard and impressive. His Stoic ideas help him to stay disciplined and thoughtful, but they also had limits when it came to social change. About the sources, actually, the most useful were the YouTube videos. The second one, I don't know if you could see my mouse, but the second one was shorter. It was 10 to 15 minutes and it was useful, but a very brief information. The first one was a 4-hour video and I watched a little more than half of it, and it is actually what helped me the most. From the articles, the Stanford article was the most interesting and helpful to me, but also from Britannica was really interesting. And in general, the fourth articles were pretty similar to each other, but had some interesting ideas on their own. And I think that that's it. Thank you very much for the invitation and bye.